Hi guys, how you doing? So today I want to talk about the Dorian mode. Now if you don't know what the Dorian mode is, hold tight, I will explain. It's not as complicated as it seems, and I know modes have a very complicated, well they seem to be very complicated and people get in twists about them, but honestly it's a simple thing when you understand the makeup of it and how it's built. So I just jammed at the start there over this B flat minor kind of 7 kind of vamp thing, one called vamp, and it's a really good way to just test your mode, or where your playing is with it, and isolate the certain sounds and the intervals in that mode to give the listener really what kind of feel you're giving over. So firstly, a Dorian scale is mainly played over minor 7 chords and minor chords, okay, because it is a minor mode. The minor 7 kind of funk fusion thing, which I kind of like, and you probably hear that in my playing, a lot of it comes from the Dorian mode and playing around with that and manipulating certain sounds and intervals in that scale. So before I start, please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, if you like the video of course, and ring the bell and it'll notify you when I've uploaded some stuff. So yeah, and really appreciate the feedback I've had on the last couple of videos also. So anyway, let's crack on with the lesson. So what is the Dorian mode? Well, first, before we get to the Dorian mode, let's understand what the major scale is first. The blueprint of all music really, okay? So I'm going to do it in the key of B flat, like the key of the track was I just played over, okay? It's B flat minor, but we need to understand first, let's go to B flat major and let's play the B flat major scale. So it's this. Okay, now you can label this, well you should label this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to the 1 there, okay? Now it goes without saying you should know this around the neck, but I'm just going to keep it to some simple positions around this area first for you to understand. It's more the concept about how scales are built we need to know first before we know shapes. If you go the other way around, which a lot of people tend to do, they tend to know the shapes first, but they're not understanding where they are within the scale, i.e. what intervals they're actually landing on, okay? This will make our playing less scalic, but I will talk about this probably on another lesson actually. So the major scale, 1, we have a major 2nd, we have a major 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, major 6th, major 7, and you're back to your 1. Okay, so you can count the 2nd octave from there as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you're back to your 1, your root. Okay, so this is your major scale. Okay, so then we need to go to what the minor scale is, okay, the natural minor, which I think is really important to know that as well. So the natural minor is 1, 2, here we have a flat 3. So what does that mean? It means we take them, everything comes back to the major scale. So if we say we have a flat 3, that means if we go to that major scale, 1, 2, 3, and then we flatten it, that's the flat 3, okay? So it's important to understand the blueprint of the major scale first before you kind of start learning other scales. So we have 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, then you are back to your 1, okay? So it's important again to know all this around the neck as well. Yeah, but like I say, I'll probably do another video on this kind of stuff and the best way to learn scales. Okay, so it's important that we know those two scales, the natural minor and the major scale, okay, the Ionian. So what is a Dorian scale, and how can we bring it into our playing to start with? Now, the makeup of the Dorian scale, you could look at it like a major scale with a flat 3 and a flat 7. Or you could just see it as a separate identity in itself, which is kind of what I do. I treat every mode as like a different sound. So I understand when I hear a Dorian how it sounds, I understand how a Lydian kind of sounds, or mixed Lydian, melodic minor, kind of whatever you're playing, it's the sound you're playing what chord you're playing over basically. So Again, I could do a whole load of lesson time on this, but I don't want to waste your time on this. So the Dorian mode is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, and then you're back to your root. Okay, so we have a major sixth in there. And this is what gives it that kind of funky, that kind of, ooh, it stands out, the sixth. Okay, so really when I'm playing, if I'm playing over this minor 7 chord, this is B flat minor, kind of 7 vamp. If I play with the natural minor, with the flat 6, that flat 6 is very hard sounding, and I want that kind of funky feel, and that sort of fusion funk kind of feel comes from that 6th a lot of the time. So I am really manipulating that 6th sound, okay? Okay, so that is a really I'm really hitting that 6th, I'm really looking out for it when I play. So when you're, say if you've never come across the Dorian before and you just know pentatonic, what you can start doing, so this is your B flat minor pentatonic in position 1, what you can start doing is adding the 6th into your pentatonic scale, okay? So say if I've got this, so 1, flat 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so maybe I could make that 3 notes per string still, so I could go. And I find the 6th here again. Okay, so just with adding the 6th to your pentatonic, you're going to get that sound of the Dorian. You don't have to play, make it kind of scalic and like that. You can just add in the simple note of the 6th. Okay, because that is the standout note we're looking for in that Dorian sound. Okay, so that is the sound which we are after. So what you can do is, like I say, play the pentatonic scale, add in that sound. Of the 6th. It's a really nice way, an easy way to do. So that is how I would start off. I'm going to do a part 2 lesson on the Dorian, and I'm going to go through some other modes as well. But yeah, if you want that kind of funky kind of fusion jazz sound to play over, and you're not sure on how to do the Dorian scale, you add in the 6th of where you are. So if you're playing the B flat minor pentatonic, find your 6th. So this is where interval becomes a point of play, and I'm not just rinsing through the Dorian scale. Okay, I'm pinpointing and I'm targeting certain intervals. So this is why it's really important to know what scale you're playing and not just see it as a shape. What is the difference between the scale, okay, between each scale? So go back to your major, then I did the minor, and then I had a look at the Dorian from the minor kind of, okay? So I hope that makes sense. Like I say, I'm going to be uploading a lot more now, so anyone who's maybe confused by this, I know that was quite, I went a bit, deep dive into that. But again, rewind the video, watch this a few times if you're not sure, and it should make sense. So really this lesson is about targeting the intervals of the mode you're playing over. Okay, don't just see the modes as shapes, see them that what makes the sound different. What is the particular standout interval you're playing, which is going to make the sound of what you're after come alive. And for me, in the Dorian mode, the 6th. So when you're jamming next time, just have a go at really articulating that sound and that interval, and you should get the sound you're after. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap up now and just film some more content for you. So anyway, have a great day. Any questions, post them below, and write comments, feedback, anything you want to say, and I will answer them. Cheers guys, have a good day.